Well, hello. Well, look at what we got here. That's bright and cheerful. Okay, that's bright and cheerful. That's cute. Let's just put you off to a side for a second. All right, yesterday we did add and subtract radical expressions. Today we're going to multiply and divide radical expressions. And for all of these, it's going to say express in simplest radical form. Okay, so what I've got is 4 multiplication and 4 division. All right, let's just get to it. Some of this is going to be review, so I apologize if this is a little boring for you, but I think it's worthwhile. So when I'm multiplying these radical expressions, I'm going to take what's outside the radical, 2 times 5, and I'm going to get 10 root, and then 2 times 12 is 24. Okay, now we're not done because 24 can be simplified. I know that the largest perfect square factor of 24 is 4. So that'll be 10 root 4 root 6, because 4 times 6 is 24. Now the square root of 4 is 2. So I have 10 times 2 root 6. So 10 times 2 is 20 root 6, and that will be my final answer for that one. Okay, the next one, they might say, what is the product? Okay, they want you to remember that product means multiply. So I'm going to take 12 times 4 root 72. Okay, 12 and 4 are both outside of the radical. So 12 times 4 is 48 root 72. Now I know 72 can be split up as 36 times 2. So that's 48, 36 times 2. Square root of 36 is 6. So I have 48 times 6 root 2. Now 48 times 6, I don't necessarily trust myself to do that in my head. I know 50 times 6 is 300, so I know it's around 300. Let's just check it out. Oh, turn it on. There we go. 48 times 6 is 288. So I have 288 square root 2, and that will be my final answer. Okay, again, 5 times 2 is 10. So I have 10 root 27. Now root 27 is 9 times 3. The square root of 9 is 3. So I have 10 times 3 root 3. 10 times 3 is 30, square root 3. So that would be my final answer for that one. Okay, here we go. This one again is more like this one. So I'm going to multiply what's outside. 9 times 7. 7 times 9 is 63. Square root 15 times 3 is 45. Okay, now the largest perfect square factor of 45 is 9. So I've got 63, and then I'm going to split up the square root of 45 as 9 times 5. Now the square root of 9 is 3. So I have 63 times 3 root 5. So here we go. 63 times 3. Okay, 189. So I have 189 root 5, and that will be my final answer. Simplified. Okay, now let's move on to this next part is, of course, division. So now let's look at the division. All right, now I've got root 32 over 4. Okay, never, ever, ever simplify something that's under the radical and something that's not under the radical. That would be wrong. Okay, the square root of 32 is 5 point something, because 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36. So I know root 32 is 5 something. So to cancel here would just be way wrong. What you're going to want to do is simplify the square root of 32. So that's going to be the square root of 16 times 2 over 4. Now we know the square root of 16 is 4. So that's 4 root 2 over 4. Now the 4's cancel, so you just end up with the square root of 2. And that's going to be your final answer simplified. Okay, next one. You have root 12 over root 6. Now in this case, they're both under the radical. If they're both under the radical, you can combine them like that. Now 12 divided by 6 is 2, so I end up with the square root of 2, which cannot simplify. So we're going to leave it like that. Okay, this one is more like number 5, where you have a radical on top, but you do not have a radical on the bottom. So 180 Well, let's see. I'm going to approach it this way. I'm going to think of my perfect squares. I've got, well, let's see. 2 squared is 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 9 is 81. 10 times 10 is 100. 11 squared is 121. 12 squared is 144, and so on. Okay, now, is 180 divisible by 144? No. I mean, I could even go to 169, but I know it's not divisible by that. Is it divisible by 121? No. No. 180 divided by 81? No. 180 divided by 64. Let's try that. 180 divided by 64. Nope. 180 divided by 49. Nope. 180 divided by 36. Oh, it is. It's 5. So this simplifies as 36 times 5 all over 9. Now let's double check that. I'm going to take 36 times 5, and I do get 180. Okay, now the square root of 36 is 6. So I have 6 root 5 over 9. Now I know 6 and 9 are both divisible by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So my simplified reduced answer is 2 root 5 all over 3. And that will be my final answer for that problem. Okay, nice. Okay, now number 8 is more like number 6, where they're both under the radical. Both the numerator and denominator are under a radical. So I'm going to see if 784 is divisible by 7. 784 divided by 7. It is. It's 112. Now there's a good chance 112 will simplify. So let's just see. I'm going to use these. Is 112 divisible by 81? No. Is it divisible by 64? No. Is it divisible by 49? Well, let's check it out. 112 divided by 49. No. Is it divisible by 36? 112 divided by 36. No. Well, I know it's not divisible by 25. Let's try 16. 112 divided by 16. It is. It's 7. So I can make it 16 times 7. Now let's double check to make sure I did my math right. I'm going to take 16 times 7. Okay, I do get 112. Now we know the square root of 16 is 4, so we end up with 4 root 7. And that's your final simplified answer. Okay, we're going to do more with dividing tomorrow, but for right now, these will suffice for the problems you're going to be asked to do on Delta Math. And I know it was a pretty short lesson, but I tell you what, you guys are pretty bright. You catch on to things quick, so we'll just call it. And I'll have you do, well, let's see, I think 12 problems. 12 problems. Probably throw in, I don't know how Delta Math will do it, maybe 6 and 6, I'm not sure. But let's just shoot for 12 problems for tomorrow, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.